Hello everyone, welcome back. In this presentation, I will discuss in detail reproduction in algae, and we'll explore the fascinating reproductive strategies shown by algae, which include both asexual and sexual modes of reproduction. So, to understand this topic in detail, let's dive in. Firstly, reproduction. This is a process by which a species is continued. So, this is a biological process in which a new individual or organisms, offspring, they are produced from their parents. This process is known as the reproduction. So there are main three common methods of reproduction which are found in algae, which includes vegetative reproduction, then asexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction. This flowchart shows various modes of reproduction in case of algae. First is vegetative, then asexual and sexual mode of reproduction. So in case of vegetative reproduction, any part of the plant body can give rise to a new individual. So that type of reproduction is known as vegetative reproduction, and it is very common mode of reproduction in case of algae. There are various methods of vegetative reproduction. First one is fragmentation, as the name indicate. जो plant body है इसमें वो small pieces में break down हो जाती है by natural or accidental ways, and that small piece can give rise to a new individual. So this is shown by some members of Cyanophyceae, that is BGA and Eulotrichils. Then comes cell division or fission. Here cell divide into two cells. इसमें cell divide करता है दो cells में, ये show करते हैं diatoms और euglena. Then we have echinids. So again these echinids, they comes under this one also asexual reproduction mode of this. This both comes under asexual mode of reproduction. So echinids are thick-walled structures, thick-walled vegetative cells जो कि reserve food material store करते हैं, and they can give rise to the new thalli of algae. It include examples like we have Pithophora, Oogonium. So mostly जो echinids है वो बनते हैं in case of BGA and green algae. Then comes tubers. So these structures are tuber-like structures. They are found in case of Chara and Cladophora. They are also meant for vegetative reproduction. Then comes Hormogonia. So जो Hormogonia होते हैं ये होते हैं 2 से 3 cell fragments, which are found in case of BGA, that is blue green algae और Cyanophyceae के member में, जिसमें एक separation disc बनती है इन cells के बीच में, और ये जो छोटा piece होता है 2 से 3 cell का, this structure is known as Hormogonia. So it is found in case of blue green algae. Then there are some adventitious branches or thalli. जो large giant algae होती है brown algae, उसके members जो branches जब detach हो जाती हैं thallus से, they can give rise to the new individual. So it is found in case of fucus, and we have another example that is called dictyota. So these are brown algal forms. Next, there are some other ways of vegetative reproduction that includes budding. So there are some members which shows bud-like outgrowth that is found in case of Protosiphon. We have one genus that is called Protosiphon, जिसमें bud की तरह structure बनता है. Then there are some structures which are known as amylum stars. Amylum stars. So these amylum stars are found in case of family Charophyceae. जो Charophyceae है उसके members में ये amylum stars पाए जाते हैं. They act as a reserve of starch, and they can also give rise to the new thallus. Then comes asexual reproduction. It includes structures like zoospores. These are motile spores which are produced inside the zoosporangium, और ये बनते हैं जब conditions होती हैं favorable. So these are produced by Chlamydomonas, Cladophora. There are different classification of zoospores on the basis of a number of flagella present. Then next we have synzoospore. This is a complex zoospore. It is found in case of Vaucheria. It is a unicellular multinucleate zoospore having multiple flagella. This is a complex zoospore. This is known as synzoospore. Then there are aplanospores. Aplanospores means ऐसे spores जो non-motile होते हैं, and they are produced inside sporangia. It include Vaucheria. So they are mostly produced by terrestrial species. Terrestrial species इन्हें produce करती है. There are some aquatic species जो इन्हें produce करती है, like we have Eurothrix. This is aquatic species that produces aplanospore. Then Chlamydomonas. So ये कुछ algal forms हैं जो ये produce करते हैं aplanospores. And next comes hypnospores. Hypnospores are the thick-walled spores. These are thick-walled spores which are produced under unfavorable conditions. इसमें जो cell की wall होती है वो thick होती है. These are produced by mostly, we have one genus that is Chlamydomonas nivalis, which causes रेड स्नो इन द पोलर रीजन. सो जो ये सेल वॉल होती है, इस सेल वॉल में प्रेजेंट होता है पिगमेंट दैट इज कॉल्ड हेमाटोक्रोम. सो दैट हेमाटोक्रोम इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द रेड कलर ऑफ स्नो. देन कम्स ऑटोस्पोर. देयर आर सम एल्गल फॉर्म्स जिसमें जो स्पोर्स बनते हैं दे आर जस्ट सिमिलर टू देयर पेरेंटल सेल. और ये जो ऑटोस्पोर्स होते हैं दे आर जस्ट स्मॉलर as compared to their parental cell, and these are commonly known as autospores. For example, they are produced by chlorella. Then comes tetraspores. So tetraspores are produced as a result of meiosis. These are also known as meiospores or goniospores. Meiospores, and they are produced by the member of rhodophyceae and some phaeophyceae. Then we have carpospores. Carpospores, again these are produced on a filament which is known as gonioblast filament. इसके टिप में बनते हैं ये. And these carpospores are again produced by the member of rhodophyceae. Red algae के member इसे produce करते हैं. Then there are another type of spore which are known as monospores. These monospores are produced. These are again a single spore which is produced inside the cell, and these are produced during the developmental stages of red algae. Like we have one stage that is called Chatrantia stage. So this Chatrantia stage formation during this developmental stage, ये जो spores हैं monospores ये बनते हैं. सिंगल sporangium that is called monosporangium, इसके अंदर एक spore बनता है. So these are found in the member of rhodophyceae again. Red algae के केस में ये बनते हैं. Then we have neutral spores. Neutral spores are produced in case of brown algae. For example, we have ectocarpus. The next comes sexual reproduction. It is again of different types. The first one is autogamy. Autogamy means self-marriage. जो डायटम्स होते हैं उसमें एक ही मदर सेल के अंदर दो गैमेट्स बनते हैं. सिस्टर सेल्स भी बने बोलते हैं. ये फ्यूज आते हैं, दे विल फॉर्म अ डिप्लॉइड स्ट्रक्चर. दिस इज कॉल्ड ऑटोगैमी, सेल्फ मैरिज. देन कम्स isogamy on the basis of gametes used. Isogamy means having the two fusing gametes are similar in their morphology as well as physiology. So this is shown by Spirogyra zygnema. Then we have Chlamydomonas dibarianum. Then next we have anisogamy. This is also a part of heterogamy. Heterogamy is of two types, anisogamy and physiological anisogamy. Anisogamy means in which the two fusing gametes are morphologically as well as physiologically different. That is called true anisogamy. So it is shown by Chlamydomonas browni. Then comes physiological anisogamy. Here the two fusing gametes are morphologically similar, but they are different in their activities. Means one is motile, one is sluggish. So this is shown by Chlamydomonas monoica. So ये species है Chlamydomonas की जो physiological anisogamy show करती है. The next we have third type that is called oogamy. This is the most advanced type of sexual reproduction. Oology is the study of egg. So here the female gamete is larger in size and non-motile. Female gamete is larger in size and is non-motile, while the male gamete is smaller and motile. Both the gametes fused and they will form zygote. So this is shown by Volvox fucus, and we have one species of Chlamydomonas, that is Chlamydomonas coccifera. So this is the outline of various modes of reproduction in algae. We'll discuss it in detail one by one. Firstly comes vegetative reproduction. So in this type of reproduction, a portion of plant body take part in the formation of new individuals. So it becomes separated from the main thallus. ये जो main thallus से separate off होता है और इससे बनता है एक नया individual. इस तरह की reproduction को कहते हैं हम vegetative propagation और vegetative reproduction. And this process does not involve meiosis. इसमें meiosis नहीं होती है और ना ही fusion of nuclei होता है और ना ही इसमें कोई spores बनते हैं. It is very common mode of multiplication. सबसे common mode है ये multiplication का. Different methods हैं that I will discuss one by one. So the first one is cell division. Again, this is also known as cell fission. So the mother cell divides and the daughter cells are produced. जो एक cell है mother cell that behaves as mother cell, वो divide करता है और इसके रिजल्ट से डिवीजन के रिजल्ट से दो सेल्स बनते हैं. सो दिस इज समटाइम कॉल्ड एज बाइनरी फिजन. जैसे कि बैक्टीरिया में होता है वैसा भी इसे मानते हैं. एंड इट इज शोन बाय डायटम्स एंड यूग्लेना. सो ये होता है डायटम्स और यूग्लेना के केस में. The next is the most common mode of vegetative reproduction, that is fragmentation. Here the plant body breaks into several parts. जो थैलस है वो टूट जाता है छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स में और फ्रेगमेंट्स में, और हर एक फ्रेगमेंट में ऐसी कैपेबिलिटी होती है दैट कैन डेवलप्स इनटू अ न्यू इंडिविजुअल थैलस, जिससे नया थैलस बन सकता है. एंड दिस टाइप ऑफ वेजिटेटिव प्रोडक्शन इज कॉमनली मैट विद इन द फिलामेंटस फॉर्म्स. जो फिलामेंटस एल्गल फॉर्म्स हैं उनमें ये मेथड प्रेजेंट होता है, लाइक वी हैव यूलोथ्रिक्स एंड स्पाइरोगारा, ये शो करते हैं. देयर आर सम कॉलोनियल फॉर्म्स, जो कॉलोनीज़ हैं मींस मल्टीपल सेल्स कॉलोनीज़ बनाते हैं, उनमें भी कई बार फ्रेगमेंटेशन होती है और छोटे छोटे पीसेज में ब्रेक डाउन होते हैं एंड दे कैन गिव राइज टू द न्यू कॉलोनी. सो एज इन केस ऑफ फेनोथिके एंड नॉस्टॉक, तो इनमें कॉलोनियल फ्रेगमेंटेशन भी होती है. सो ये जो सिंपल सा फिलामेंट है ये ब्रेक डाउन होता है छोटे छोटे फ्रेगमेंट्स में एंड ईच फ्रेगमेंट कैन गिव राइज टू न्यू फिलामेंट. Next is budding. So this is very rare case of vegetative production in algae. So this is shown by this genus that is called Protosiphon. Protosiphon के केस में ये दिखा है. Next comes amylum stars. So these are starch-filled, star-shaped cell aggregates present on the lower node of members of family Charophyceae. कैरोफाइसी के मेंबर्स के लोअर नोड में ये जो स्टार शेप स्ट्रक्चर्स होते हैं जिन्हें अमाइलम स्टार्स बोलते हैं, ये भी जर्मिनेट करते हैं एंड दे कैन गिव राइज टू द न्यू प्लांट बॉडीज. सो ये जो स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, दिस इज अमाइलम स्टार, इट इज़ फाउंड इन द फैमिली कैरोफाइसी, और ये भी वेजिटेटिव प्रोडक्शन में हेल्प करते हैं. नेक्स्ट वी हैव ट्यूबर्स. सो देयर आर सम genus of algal forms which produces tuber-like structures. So tuber-like structures develop on the rhizoids. Rhizoids are root-like structure. इनमें बनते हैं ये, as in case of cladophora and chara. So they accumulate food material and when detached they germinate into new plants. जब ये यहाँ से rhizoid से निकल जाते हैं they germinate and produces new plant. Next, adventitious branches. So ये जो branches they are produced by large size brown algal forms and they get detached from the main thallus and they can produce the new thalloid thallus. So adventitious branches formed in some large thalloid forms of algae जिसमें brown algae आती है. So these branches when gets detached, जब ये branches main thallus से टूट जाती हैं they will develop into the new plant body, new thallus. So adventitious branches like Protonema. Protonema is a developmental stage which is found in case of bryophytes. So this is formed on the internodes of chara. Like we have this one that is Fucus distichus. So इसमें जो ये branches होती हैं ये detach हो जाती हैं and this branch can give rise to the new individual thallus. So this is the original photograph of this Fucus distichus. So these are examples, that is Dictyota and Fucus. They show vegetative reproduction with the help of these adventitious branches. Next is hormone formation. When the filament or trichrome breaks into the pieces of two or more cells, such pieces are known as hormones. कुछ एक ब्लूरिन एल्गी है जिसमें जो मेन फिलामेंट होता है वो टूटता है 2 से 3 सेल के फ्रेगमेंट्स में, और ये जो फ्रेगमेंट्स होते हैं दे कैन बी 2 to more cell fragments. इन्हें कहते हैं हार्मोगोनियम और इनके बीच में बनती है एक डिस्क जिसे बोलते हैं सेपरेशन डिस्क. So ये जो fragments होते हैं they can give rise to new filament and these structures are known as hormogones. So each hormogone develops into new plant that is found in case of some BGA, that is Oscillatoria and Nostoc. Next comes asexual reproduction. As this process is the uniparental process, एक ही parent involve होता है इसमें और जो offspring बनते हैं they are just the carbon copies of their parents, जिन्हें हम clones कहते हैं, और इसमें meiosis नहीं होती है and offsprings will be the exact genetic copies of their parents. So जिन्हें हम बोलते हैं clones, except in some cases of automixes. इसमें rejuvenation of protoplast होता है. And asexual reproduction occurs through following methods. There are various modes. First one, by formation of zoospores. So these are motile spores which are naked reproductive bodies जो बनते हैं special structures के अंदर जिन्हें कहते हैं zoosporangia. They are formed inside zoosporangia. इनमें जो number of flagella है उनका number vary करता है, that may be 2, 4 or many flagella, and they are able to swim in water. Then each zoosporangium may produce only one zoospore inside the zoosporangium as in case of Oogonium, or multiple of 4 as in the zoosporangia of Ulothrix, और बहुत सारे zoospores बनते हैं in a single zoosporangium as in case of Cladophora. So ये जो structure है this is called zoosporangium, और इसके अंदर जो ये जो structure these are known as zoospores and they contain flagella. So ये जो smaller structure this is called zoospore. Flagella may be present at the interior end, means front end पे हो सकता है like this one, or it may be on the lateral side. तो front end पे होता है in green algae, और जो lateral side है like in case of brown algae, so it is present on the lateral side. So they are always formed in favorable conditions. ये जो zoospore है ये बनते हैं जब conditions होती हैं favorable, और ये होते हैं motile. On the basis of number of flagella present on their bodies, ये different तरह के होते हैं. First we have biflagellate zoospores, means having 2 flagella. For example, as in case of Chlamydomonas, here we can see जो ये zoospores होते हैं इनमें 2 flagella present होते हैं और ectocarpus, but the position in case of ectocarpus is lateral. Then quadriflagellates having 4 flagella. So these type of zoospores are found in case of macrozoospores of Ulothrix. So इसमें जो number of flagella होते हैं they are 4 in number. Then we have octaflagellate, that is found in case of Polybliferis. इसमें जो number of flagella होते हैं they are 8 in number. Then we have multiflagellate zoospores, they are found in case of Oogonium, and the syn zoospore, the complex zoospore of Vaucheria, which is unicellular multinuclear zoospore. Next we have aplanospores. As the name indicates, these are non-motile spores. ये जो spores होते हैं ये move नहीं कर सकते, they don't have flagella, they lack flagella, और ये बनते हैं sporangia के अंदर, और ये produce किए जाते हैं mostly by terrestrial algae. For example, we have Vaucheria, but there are some aquatic forms. कुछ aquatic forms भी हैं जैसे Microspora है, Ulothrix है, इनमें भी ये produce होते हैं. And for their formation, जो protoplast होता है cell का, that rounds off and develops its own wall and becomes aplanospore. कई बार इन्हें हम arrested zoospore भी कहते हैं. Sometimes aplanospores are similar to their parents, बिल्कुल exact copies बनते हैं parents के, but they are smaller in size as in case of Chlorella and Synodesmus. तो ये सभी aspects में same होते हैं, but size में ये छोटे होते हैं. So these spores are known as autospores. इस तरह के spores को autospore कहते हैं, और ये बनते हैं in case of Chlorella. Then we have in case of Vaucheria, ये produce करता है कई बार बहुत ही छोटे size के aplanospores, बहुत ही ज़्यादा number में inside a single sporangium, जिन्हें कहते हैं microaplanospores. In case of blue-green algae microcystis, they produces extremely small sized microspores जिन्हें बोलते हैं nanocytes. The next type of spore is hypnospore. So these are thick-walled spores, again non-motile spores. They are produced by some algae to tide over the unfavorable conditions, means ये बनते हैं जब conditions होती हैं unfavorable. So they are produced by, like we have this genus that is Chlamydomonas nivalis and Periastrum. Periastrum is an example of non-motile synovium. So these are thick-walled spore germinate when the conditions are favorable. जब conditions favorable होती हैं वैसे ही ये hypnospore germinate करते हैं and produces new plant body. As we have discussed that Chlamydomonas nivalis is responsible for red snow in the polar region. तो ये जो red snow होता है it is because of the red pigment that is hematochrome, जो कि present होता है cell की wall में in case of Chlamydomonas, और इसकी वजह से red snow का phenomenon देखा जाता है. Next comes echinids or cyst. So these are again another mode of asexual reproduction. They are very common in blue-green algae or some green algae. As we can see in this photograph, so this is a filament of this blue-green algae. Here this structure is heterocyst, and beside this heterocyst जो ये filament है इसमें है thick-walled cells जो कि large size के होते हैं. They are thick-walled and they store food material. इन cells को कहा जाता है echinids. So these echinids are type of vegetative cells which is thick-walled and will overcome the unfavorable conditions. Sometimes they are formed in chain, as in case of protosiphon. Protosiphon के केस में जो echinids होते हैं they are multinucleate, और उस केस में इन्हें कहा जाता है cynocyst. They are termed as cynocyst. Then they are also known as statospores in case of diatoms. डायटम्स के केस में इन्हें हम बोलते हैं स्टेटोस्पोर्स, and they helps in with asexual reproduction. Next comes monospore, as the name indicate. So the spore which are haploid, non-motile uninucleate spore जो कि एक singly produce होता है inside the monosporangia during the Chatrantia stage in the member of class Rhodophyceae. तो रेड एल्गी के मेंबर में जब ये स्टेज बनती है, that is Chatrantia stage, उस समय में ये जो मोनोस्पोर्स है वो बनते हैं. So they are liberated after the rupturing of cell wall. Then next comes tetraspore. They are again non-motile spores produced in the group of 4 inside a specialized structure जिसे बोलते हैं tetrasporangia. और ये जो tetraspores होते हैं they are sexual spores known as gonospores, और इन्हें हम meiospore भी बोलते हैं because they are produced as a result of meiotic division and they are produced inside tetrasporangium. तो ये जो tetrasporangium है इसके अंदर बनते हैं ये tetraspores and this is tetrasporangium. So they are found in case of the family Phaeophyceae जिसे हम कहते हैं brown algae, और Rhodophyceae जिन्हें हम बोलते हैं red algae. Next we have neutral spores. So these are produced by direct transformation of protoplast of a vegetative cell into a single spore. तो जो vegetative cell है उसका जो अंदर का material that gets transformed into spores जिसे हम बोलते हैं neutral spore, ये produce होते हैं in case of ectocarpus. Next comes carpospore. Carpos means fruit, spore means seed. So these are non-motile spores produced on the short filament arising from carpogonium following fertilization. So जो ये carpospores होते हैं, this is a feature of red algae as it is found in case of Polysiphonia and Batrachospermum. Batrachospermum is commonly known as frog spawn algae, and this is the red algae which is found in fresh water. So ये जो spores हैं ये बनते हैं इस स्ट्रक्चर के अंदर जिसे बोलते हैं कार्पोगोनियम या फिर सिस्टोकार्प. So this produces these spores जिन्हें बोलते हैं कार्पोस्पोर्स. These are diploid spores basically. The next comes conditions for sexual reproduction. So it takes place after a considerable accumulation of food material and the climax of vegetative activity is over. Initially जो plants हैं वो grow करते हैं vegetatively. After attaining a certain age they will enter into the reproductive phase. So इसके लिए कुछ factors responsible होते हैं, like bright light is major factor for the production of gametes. Then suitable pH चाहिए होता है, then optimum temperature. So ये जो conditions हैं ये fulfill होनी चाहिए for sexual reproduction. We have different types of sexual reproduction, like this is autogamy, then isogamy, heterogamy. Heterogamy is of 2 types, anisogamy, physiological anisogamy, aplanogamy and conjugation, then finally parasexuality. Firstly comes autogamy. Auto means self, gamy means marriage. So it involves fusion of 2 sister gametes produced inside the same mother cell. तो एक ही cell के अंदर 2 gametes बनते हैं and they both gets fused, and this structure is known as, this process is known as autogamy, and it is found in case of diatoms. और diatom का जो cell होता है उसके लिए हम term use करते हैं frustule. So in this process only karyogamy takes place. इसमें सिर्फ karyogamy होती है, that is fusion of nuclei. और साइटोप्लाज्म का इसमें फ्यूजन नहीं होता है, that is plasmogamy. So sexual reproduction involves 2 steps. First one is plasmogamy followed by karyogamy, that is fusion of nuclei. So it is important feature of diatoms. Next comes isogamy. Iso means equal, alike. Gamos means marriage. So it involves fusion of 2 morphologically and physiologically similar gametes. 2 gametes जो कि देखने में और एक्टिविटी में सिमिलर होते हैं, जब वो दोनों फ्यूज करते हैं, दिस phenomenon is known as isogamy, और ऐसे gametes को बोलते हैं isogametes. यूजुअली जो gametes होते हैं they taking part in fusion comes from 2 different individuals. 2 different individuals आते हैं, और filaments, sometimes these gametes comes from the 2 different cells of a same filament. कई बार ये जो 2 gametes ये बनते हैं एक ही फिलामेंट के डिफरेंट सेल्स. So can't be classified as male or female. हम जो algal forms हैं उन्हें male और female नहीं classify करते हैं. Instead mostly we noted them as plus or minus strains. हम इनमें use करते हैं plus or minus strain as it is found in case of Chlamydomonas and Eulothrix species. Next is heterogamy. Hetero means different, gamy means marriage. So here the 2 fusing gametes are either morphologically or physiologically different from each other. सो द फ्यूजन ऑफ डिसिमिलर गैमेट्स, ऐसे गैमेट्स जो डिसिमिलर हैं, उस प्रोसेस को बोलते हैं हेट्रोगैमी। ये दो तरह का होता है, फर्स्ट इज एनाइसोगैमी और दूसरा होता है फिजियोलॉजिकल एनाइसोगैमी। फर्स्टली एनाइसोगैमी, एनाइसो मीन्स डिफरेंट, गैमी मीन्स मैरिज, सो अनइक्वल। दो जो गैमेट्स हैं वो अनइक्वल होंगे, मीन्स दिस इज स्मॉलर इन साइज एंड द सेकेंड वन इज लार्जर इन साइज, दैट इज कॉल्ड एनाइसोगैमी। सो दीज आर morphologically as well as physiologically dissimilar gametes. So जो male gametes होते हैं they are smaller, male gametes होते हैं smaller, और जो female gametes होते हैं they are larger in size, while the male gametes are more active while female gametes are sluggish, as in case of as it is found in case of Chlamydomonas brownie and Pandorina. While this isogamy is shown by one species of Chlamydomonas, isogamy is shown by one species of Chlamydomonas, that is Chlamydomonas dibarianum. Next comes physiological anisogamy. Here the two fusing gametes are morphologically almost similar. देखने में similar होते हैं but they are different in their activity. Means movement में ये अलग होते हैं एक दूसरे से. So when the fusing gametes are morphologically similar, देखने में similar हैं but exhibit different physiological behavior. So in this case one gamete is more active and other is sluggish. एक गैमेट होता है एक्टिव और दूसरा होता है स्लगिश, एज इन केस ऑफ क्लामाइडोमोनास मोनोइक, इन एडिशन टू इट इज शोन बाय आल्सो स्पाइरोगारा एंड एक्टोकार्पस. In case of ectocarpus siliculosus, the sluggish female gamete is surrounded by a large number of more active male gametes. जो ectocarpus होता है उसमें जो female gamete होता है, it is sluggish, it is surrounded by many male gametes. They attached themselves with the help of this flagella. और ये जो फ्लैजेला इसको अटैच करता है, दे विल गिव राइज टू दिस क्लम्प फॉर्मेशन. तो इस प्रोसेस को बोलते हैं क्लम्प फॉर्मेशन, दैट इज फाउंड इन केस ऑफ एक्टोकार्पस सिलिकुलोसिस. Then the next type of sexual reproduction, which is oogamy. This is the most advanced or evolved type of sexual reproduction. Oo means egg, gamy means marriage. So oon means egg, gamos means marriage. So fertilization of large non-motile female gamete, जिसे हम egg बोलते हैं, by small motile male gamete. So this is the most advanced and highly evolved mode of sexual reproduction as occur in highly evolved algae. For example, we have Chlamydomonas coccifera, then Chlamydomonas ooganum, दो species हैं Chlamydomonas की, Volvox में होता है, Oogonium में होता है Chara and Fucus. So in red algae, Polysiphonia and Batrachospermum, where male gametes are non-motile, oogamy is highly specialized. So here male gametes are known as spermatia and the females are known as carpogonia. So this is the most advanced form of sexual reproduction. It is found in red algae. Next mode of sexual reproduction, that is conjugation or aplanogamy. It is found in certain blue-green algae. So fusion of two similar non-motile gametes or cells which facilitate the transfer of genetic material from one cell to another. The fusing gametes are known as aplanogametes, as it is found in case of Spirogara and Zygnema. This is also known as conjugation. So conjugation between two cells, a conjugation canal is formed through which the genetic material is transferred from one cell to another cell. Finally comes parasexuality. Here the partial genetic recombination takes place without the involvement of sexual reproduction. This is known as parasexuality, means जो थोड़ा सा genetic material है एक cell से दूसरे cell में transfer होगा, that is called parasexuality or partial genetic recombination. It is shown by some blue-green algae like we have Anacystis, Anabena and Slendrosperm. So this is all about the reproduction processes and algae. I hope you will get some idea from this presentation. If you have any questions, queries and any suggestions, give it in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.